Alright, come join Kyle, John, and David as they go through what's on the playlist. Find out what's everyone's favourite at Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment. We have a few segments, to be honest. In and out points, no celebs and the gossip. Back in time where we're talking about the big M's, coming attractions, what the cue. Quick checks, who'll be laughing? You abundantly. Welcome to Dual Redundancy.
Yes, welcome to Dual Redundancy, the only podcast where you can hear all latest in television, entertainment news, and Emmy nomination reactions from two millennials with exactly the same opinions. I'm one of those hosts, David Allen, and another one is
John Berwick, and the third one is
Kyle Bridger. I would say that I am bringing the House of the Dragons to John's euphoric Euphoria, to Dave's Very Awesome the Bear. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything.
Very Awesome. That sounds like there could be something on the menu. The Berry Awesome Blossom. Cherry Blossom, Onion Blossom, whatever.
Well, it'd be what they had to create with the, a rubber tire and maraschino cherry and whatever else they got.
A Top Chef crossover episode with the bear. It's like when on Always Sunny, everyone always wants the bar rescue crossover episode with John Taffer. Maybe they could do a Top Chef. Oh, anyways, all right. We're not talking about Top Chef. We're not talking about Bar Rescue. We're talking about so much else. We have a jam-packed show, a lot to catch up on. Of course, yes, we're going to talk about the Emmy nominations, which came out last week. We're also going to do some quick checks on some of the TV we've been watching and catching up on. We got Euphoria, House of the Dragon, The Bear. We might even talk some sports with the World Cup, some box office updates, a lot to do. Let's jump right to it. Let's go right to the Emmys. We're talking about the 78th Primetime Emmy Awards. Now, the nominations were announced last week, Wednesday, July 8th, and the ceremony will be on September 14th on NBC and Peacock. Now, these are going to be honoring the shows that aired from June 1st, 2025 through May 31st, 2026. It's very important because that means no House of the Dragon, which is currently airing now. The Bear season here isn't season 5.
Yeah.
It's last summer season 4. So just keep those things in mind when we're going to be talking about it, because we will talk about The Bear season 5 later. But yeah, so all right. Let's just jump in. We'll do some overall thoughts, and then we'll go category by category here. The Pit, they led with 25 nominations, followed by Hacks with 24, then Widow's Bay with 19, and then Pluribus with 18. Just, Kyle, give me your overall thoughts. I mean, we'll go in detail later, but your overall thoughts on the nomination landscape here.
It's interesting. I mean, The Pit and Hacks early, it feels like they're going to be juggernauts again. It's going to be tough to beat them. I'm happy to see some other ones. I've heard great things about Widow's Bay. I haven't seen it yet. I do want to check it out. So I know some people are talking about that's like the show of the year. It's been so good. And I really feel like Apple TV, I don't know what they've done recently, but they're like jam packing in these prestige shows. And I feel like they're getting a lot more nominations for that type of stuff. Beef, I was really into at the start, and then for me, it kind of hit a wall around episode 4 or 5. So I'm trying to break through because I did like where it was going, but I'm still working my way through it. I stopped watching DTF St. Louis because I just felt like it wasn't really going anywhere. I've heard you've got to stick with it. I just wasn't really vibing it, so I stopped. So I'm very surprised.
There's just too much TV to be like, yeah, I mean, I know DTF St. Louis is a closed off miniseries, but it's like, whatever show, it's like, yeah, you just got to get through the first 36 episodes, and then it hits its stride. It's like, okay, like I don't have the time.
Yeah. But I'm just surprised to see that has the 5th or 6th most nominations, which is for a show that I was like, it's just lukewarm on to get that many. I mean, I know I had a lot of heavy hitters involved with it, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, I mean, we'll go through the categories in a bit. I won't say it's a weak year. I don't want to start off negative, but I think compared to other years, just these three categories, it's like, we don't have a Severance, we don't have a
Yeah.
White Lotus, we don't have something that like, yeah, like I enjoy The Pit. I've heard great things about Widow's Bay, like, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, maybe DTF St. Louis got so many nominations because then you
Hmm.
look at the limited or anthology series category and you're like, all right, I
What
mean, I
else is
guess.
there?
Yeah, so like when you like nominate, what you got, like you're gonna pick up some just, underneath the couch cushion kind of thing.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think again, we see this in the last few years. The Emmys really just love to go like all in on a few shows. And it's like maybe just they don't have time to watch the shows, but it's like I think back in the day they were a little bit more spread out when there was like less shows, if that makes sense. But now there's so many shows where it's like, oh, you were on The Pit, you were on Hacks, Emmy nomination, Emmy nomination. Just like we see that with like White Lotus, Successions, The Studio, like last year. It's like they watch like I feel like a few like 10 shows and like those are you're gonna get double digits for all
Hmm.
those. And it's like, okay, like I mean, so much so you get a little bit of double dipping too with actors. I notice there's many actors that got a nomination here. Well, I mean, there was a lot that got a nomination here, and then also for like producing, like Sterling K. Brown on Paradise. But then you also got like double acting nominations. Like Jason Bateman is a lead actor for Black Rabbit and a supporting actor for DTF St. Louis.
Hmm.
Which already I'm like, I would maybe put him like supporting for Black Rabbit because it was like Jude Law's story, and then like I don't know, you would have to tell me about DTF like if he was supporting or lead in that. But anyways,
Hmm.
Nick Offerman, Laurie Metcalf, I saw Matthew Reese for Widow's Bay and The Beast in Me, Coleman Domingo for Euphoria and The Four Seasons. It's like
Hmm.
again, the Emmys gets their favorites, and it's like, all right, we're going all in. We're going all in on those guys.
Yeah, I didn't know where to bring this up. I don't want to talk about snubs yet, but
Yeah.
I do have some confusion with the Emmys where it felt like, okay, you've nominated this show in several other categories, but then it doesn't make a top-notch
I think I know which one you're
series.
talking about. We'll talk about
And
that in drama
then,
series for
but that,
sure.
yeah, and then we have the also the flip side of it where, wait, that's nominated, but then I don't see any actors nominated from
Yeah.
it, and I don't know about the below the line stuff, but I'm like, I'm confused. So this is a great show, but then we're not nominating any of the performers in it. And on the flip side, once we get to it, I'll talk about my
Yeah.
snub. But the major glaring omission for me, it was just like, wait, so it had all these nominations, but yet it's not a great show. I don't understand what you're doing here. So
Yeah.
I'm really confused what the Emmys are doing in that sense.
Yeah. I know exactly the one we're talking about, and we'll talk about that in drama series for sure. Let's look at like total noms, just like overall, like by network. You know, it's always so hard to break this down because and there's a lot of nitpicking between the different networks. But HBO and HBO Max led with 122 nominations. Second place was Netflix with 111. They always go neck and neck. This year, HBO Max came on top. I think the real impressive number though is Apple TV.
Hmm.
Really impressive showing. In third place, you're now, it's technically, yes, the graph says 89, but here where it gets tricky, it was 87 for Apple TV, but Apple had two for commercials that they produced. So it's like, okay, well, blah, 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 But anyways,
Wait, commercials are getting Emmys?
yeah, they get like, uh, all those short things,
Short
all
form
those
stuff?
like, yeah, all those, there's a lot of categories. There's a
Yeah.
lot of categories. But, it's very impressive though, because if you look at like comedy series and drama series, they have three slots in both of those. I mean, for comedy series, you got Margot's got Money Troubles, Shrinking, and Widow's Bay. And then in drama series, Pluribus, Slow Horses, and Your Friends and Neighbors. So it's almost like half the category is
Hmm.
their series. And normally it's like, oh, you might get one, you might get two, but it's like to get three in each, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially in a year when they don't have the studio and Severance, like
Yeah.
but
But you take a look at this graphic, right? And I
yeah,
feel like this is like an illusion of choice or an
yes.
illusion of nomination because FX, Hulu, Disney, ABC, it's like RC Cola, Pepsi. Like all it's all
Yeah.
under the same kind of umbrella,
And
right?
it's
So
only gonna get smaller. It's only
yeah,
gonna get
I know.
smaller.
That's what I mean. It's like they're making you think that there's really a wide variety of nominations for these networks when in reality that network is supplying, all those things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because like for instance, like yeah, ABC has 30 something, FX Hulu gets 23, Disney Plus 14, you add all these up, Disney got 111, just like Netflix, but then again, like they it's all this like weird computing because I went through so many different websites, Hollywood Reporter, I try to count on myself, Deadline, like Deadline's number for Disney is 125, but I'm like, well, I added their properties and got 111. Like there's so much of like it's one of those things like Whose Line where everything's made up and the points don't matter here.
mhm.
Yeah, just HBO had the most. What's the actual number? 122 asterisks. Like, exactly. But
Yeah.
all right. Well, a lot of those nominations came from The Pit. And let's go now to drama series and we'll break down drama series. The Pit led with 25 nominations, followed by Pluribus with 18. Those two series are joined by The Diplomat, The Gilded Age, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, Paradise, Slow Horses, and Your Friends and Neighbors for your drama series nominees. All right, John, I'm going to throw it to you. You know, what are these shows are you watching? Which ones were you excited to see here? Anyone missing?
I mean, I saw the pit, I saw Pluribus. I can't say I really watched anything else on this list. You guys, I think, have told me a couple times that Slow Horses is good. It's on the long list of when I have time, I'll do it. But like, yeah, I really haven't watched everything, so I don't know if I have the most informed opinion. But yeah, everything that I've watched that would fit in this category is kind of here.
Yeah.
I kind of haven't watched a ton recently, so that's not really helping this. But yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think there's any real surprises for me.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that kind of shows what we were talking about a little bit earlier, where it's like, yeah, like the usual suspects are here. There's nothing that's like, whoa, that made it, and there's one that's a definite snub, which we'll get to for sure. But yeah, I look at this list and yeah, of course the pick, of course Pluribus, Paradise. I think that show is like a fun show. Is it outstanding drama series? I don't
Yeah.
know. It's fun, but like it's not that. And yeah, I've always heard good things about Slow Horses.
The thing
Um,
about slow horses, and I do like slow
yeah,
horses, it's like consistent, but it's not like I think it's a deserved
yeah,
nomination, but I don't think it's ever gonna win anything. It's
yeah,
just consistent, and you're gonna have great moments, great performances, but it's not like top tier
yeah. I feel like
echelon.
that show and like when we get to comedy, like Only Murders in the Building is going to be
Yeah,
nominated like for the but when we're gonna be dead and those shows are still
yeah,
gonna be nominated
yeah,
like they're just
yeah,
it's just check check
yeah.
but
Now, I don't know too much about your friends and neighbors
yeah
besides the John Hamm meme, pretty much. Um, I mean, a lot of these Apple TV shows, I feel like are trending down the same path where it's like, I don't know, like middle-aged, like
yeah
people like it's like it
so
reminds me of
us
like the morning show and
yeah
I'll say
that
that.
that type thing.
yeah no I hear
Um,
you
but what I will say about the nominees is I really think it's going to be hard. I already mentioned this to beat the pit.
yeah
I know Pluribus has a great team behind it, but I just can't see anybody beating the pit
no
with and
it's
you. I will say the night of a night of the Seven Kingdoms really picked up steam throughout the run, and it only had 6 episodes, but I think it really picked up, and people were like, "Oh, this is a good show."
yeah
But I don't know if it's got enough, you know,
yeah
juice to take on the pit.
yeah I think right now the pit is the one to beat. I mean it's just I mean you saw it last year. I mean we've seen it with the second seasons of shows like Severance last year, White Lotus, The Bear in the past. They get so many noms, in the first season, and then they boom, they get just an explosion in season two. And yeah, it went from 13 noms last year to 25 here. Most of them coming from acting, and specifically that supporting category that you usually see with Succession and White Lotus.
Hmm.
And I look at these, supporting nominees that we have on the screen here. It's like, do we really need all of these? I mean, I like the pit. I like the pit, and I'll
Hmm.
I'll use their character names to help distinguish, here. But like, you have Langdon, Jack Abbott, and Whitaker for the men, and then you have Mel King, McKay, Dana Evans, and Al Hashimi for the women here. That's like, okay, Langdon, I think, had a lot this season. Alashimi definitely with what she had going on. Dana, last year's winner, powerful stuff with going through one of the victims of rape during the season. So it's like, yes, like they have some good stuff. But it's like I think we talked about when we talked about season two. It's like Mel King this season, maybe
Yeah, that
season one,
doesn't.
but like she had like no payoff
Yeah,
to her story, and it was like the same thing for those 16 episodes.
yeah, and I mean, there are moments. When you're talking about Al Hashimi, there are moments where it's very good, but then
Yeah.
there's like moments from episodes where she comes in and she's like, AI is our new partner. And,
Yeah.
and she's just like totally just like, a plot device to get to the next thing. So I feel like it's a mixed bag with her. So I don't know, depending on the tape that she
Yeah.
chose. I mean, there's something there because especially those last couple episodes, but in the bulk of the season, I feel like she wasn't really given a lot to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I
And when
feel
we're
like
talking
now with
about,
the tapes, though, I will say, I feel like that's completely like
I know.
what it should be, but it's like so out the window because like in the year with Liza from The Bear, she had like nothing for the season she won, but her episode from season three that was focused on her aired during that season two, so she won for season two, but then she didn't win for season three. It's just like, okay, like what are we
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah. I mean, and I know everyone loves Sean Hattasy, but like,
Hmm.
was there enough there?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't
who's
know.
that? Is that Jack
That's
Abbott?
Jack. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Jack.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree. Season one,
yeah,
maybe. Season
yeah,
two, no. And I think like Santos had more of a presence than
yeah.
some of these characters. Hell,
Mm-hmm.
Baby Jane Doe was more of a storyline, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
Well, somebody in the chat put the pit is the new West Wing, and I want to
yeah.
say, is it the new ER? I mean, we're pretty.
Oh,
That's pretty much the same.
legally
Yeah,
we
I
can't
know.
say that. Yeah.
I know.
But yeah, yeah, it's two guest actors who actually got in some nominations here. I thought would have been shoo-ins for guest noms, but they weren't even submitted by HBO. They
Mm,
did it by themselves here. Brittany Allen, who played Roxy, the terminal cancer patient, and Jeff Kober, Duke, the biker friend of Dr. Robbie, they self-submitted and made it in.
wow.
So I mean, that's
I mean, that just goes to show you the power of
yeah,
the pit and how strong people really like the show.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, but I will say also go back to EDM 331's comment is yeah, there is something to also the West Wing because it isn't the showrunner that took off from Aaron Sorkin, I think
Mm,
from seasons five on,
mm,
is the showrunner of this, I think, or involved.
mm,
I can't remember, but
mm,
yeah. But yeah, um, I want to talk about the snub, Kyle, that I think you are mentioning here because I'm also confused. This comes up every year. How some of these overall series noms happen because
mm.
Task, which both
Yeah,
Kyle and I had in our top three of
yeah.
last year's shows,
Hmm.
didn't get a series nom. But you have something like Night of the Seven Kingdoms up there with just a few below the line noms. They didn't get any acting or writing or directing, just those but under the costumes, the special effects, that kind
Hmm.
of stuff.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, Task got writing, directing, cinematography, editing, and two acting noms.
Hmm. And it's not an outstanding
Yeah.
drama series.
Had
That
all the
makes
components, but it didn't have.
0 cents. 0 cents. It makes no sense whatsoever. And I don't know about some of these other shows, but it could have replaced one of them, especially when the show is that good.
Yeah.
It's that good.
I
Like,
thought this would be like a shoe in.
yeah,
Like
I feel I don't, maybe it's too localized. Like maybe
no,
it's too Pennsylvania or
I
Philadelphia. I
don't
don't
know.
know
I
what
mean,
it is.
they got big names in here. It obviously had enough support to get so many nominations everywhere else in some big categories.
Because Mayor of
Here's
Easttown got nominated, right? A
I think so.
bunch.
I mean, it definitely won for Kate Winslet. I think
Yeah.
some of the other actors won too.
Mm.
But here's my drop the mic moment. Your Friends and Neighbors only got the series nomination.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Nothing below the line, nothing above the line. It only got one nomination this year, and it was Outstanding Drama Series. Make that make sense.
Hmm.
That doesn't make sense. How, like, like, yeah, all the components of this thing we love, but when you served it to us and we didn't like it, like, and we sent it back. But like this one plate of food, it's made of disgusting things. It doesn't deserve nomination, but it's tastes great together. Like it doesn't. I don't get it. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I immediately saw it and was like, this does not make any sense. I wonder if your friends and neighbors, I joked about the meme, but maybe it got some juice from that. I don't
I,
know. I just don't understand.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just that. I mean, I would have said the Apple TV really went great with their publicity and for your consideration stuff. I mean, there's some other smaller shows that got the views. I can't remember the exact percentage, but it was something where I saw something like they have so few viewers that Nielsen, yeah, you need to have like 1% of like viewing to even qualify for Nielsen, and they don't qualify for that.
Who does Apple?
Apple.
Oh my
So that just
gosh.
again shows like what kind of bubble we're
Yeah,
in
yeah.
general, but like specifically those shows. And
Mm,
then like I don't know, it just didn't make the cut. And it's odd that Task is even in this category, but then it's like I guess another
hmm.
season is actually coming.
Yeah,
Um, uh,
yeah.
and it's actually interesting because it was announced late last week that actually Julianne Nicholson, who did actually win an Emmy for Mayor of Easttown, will reprise her role in season 2 of Task.
Mm,
So it looks like we're kind of getting some kind of like crossover
crossover.
action here. So I'm assuming Kate Winslet will be, alongside Mark Ruffalo here. But it's like interesting because Mayor of Easttown was a limited series.
Hmm.
Task, like we've seen it in the past where you have like another season of a show with like one lead actor returning and it's a new case and storyline or something. And it used to be considered limited, but maybe they changed the rules. Like they go back and forth so often that I can't remember, but it's just like,
I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Levinson did something like that with Euphoria, like
yeah,
created a standalone, The
please God,
Idol,
no.
Euphoria mashup.
Mm, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
But
but
no, you want to say no Euphoria here, right?
I mean, yeah, we could talk about that. I mean, Euphoria didn't make the list for drama series. Zendaya did get a nomination for the final season.
Mm-hmm.
She won for the other 2 seasons, so it's interesting. Will she go 3 for 3? She has, a big year with the drama, the Odyssey, Spider-Man, Dune. Like she's out there, she's campaigning, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's a big category here, especially, we have a favorite of Ray Seahorn in
Mm-hmm.
here.
Do we think
Uh,
she can win for this?
I don't I don't think so. I think she will eventually, or but like I think it's one of those things where this is just my interpretation of the tea leaves I'm like reading out into the universe, that I think the industry really loves a show like The Pit that shoots in California. It is on a schedule every year. It produces 16 quality episodes with a lot of cast and a lot of crew, and it's working. Pluribus, it's like, when are we going to get a new season? 3 years
Mm-hmm.
from now? Like,
Mm-hmm.
did
Yeah.
they? I don't even know if they even like. I think they just started writing season 2. It's like
Mm.
TikTok. Like, what are we doing? And it's not like it's a show like maybe Severance with the amount of special effects, or like a House of the Dragon or something. Like, at least they're every 2 years. But like, I mean, it's not like a scheduling issue. It's really just Ray Seahorn. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. Um,
Um, Another snub I was thinking about for series, and we could talk about some of the
yeah,
actors along with it. But Industry, I
that's on
really
my
like.
list.
Yeah, I like Industry. Um, I don't know if this latest season was its best season, but I still think it's very, very consistent. And I like that they're trying new and different things. I think it's still kept within the world and within the character building of the show, unlike Euphoria when we get to that and
Yeah,
how that show went off in some other crazy direction. I feel like Industry is growing with the
yeah,
characters and uh, it's still interesting. It's still very well made. So it would have been nice to get some love for them at some point with the
yeah.
Emmys.
Something like I have this listed. I'm pretty sure I did a little bit of research on it. I don't think they have
No,
any
no,
nominations,
no.
like ever. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, say what you will about the writing sometimes, especially this past season, we had our little nitpicks here and there, but like, performances, editing, production
Mm,
design, something like, and yeah, we'll have one more shot for the final season, but it seems like it's not going to be likely, it's like,
mm.
it's,
You talk about performances like Jon Snow,
yeah,
the Kit
Kit Harington,
Harington.
yes,
He did a great job this year, and I think he was trying different stuff so that everyone's not equating him with Jon Snow all the time.
yeah,
I think he mentioned in interviews like this is
yeah,
I'm really going for it here because I think it lends itself
yeah,
for him trying a bunch of creative things.
yeah,
I don't know. It's just annoying. I mean, yeah, I think it's a decent show.
yeah.
Worth something.
And you talk about performances here. I heard really mixed things on the final season and also the series finale specifically, with the boys, but like it is kind of crazy, like somebody like Anthony Starr can't like ever
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Oh
say what
my
you will about the
God,
show, but
dude.
like
You're talking about one of the best villains of all
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Just the moment he is on the screen,
yeah.
just being
You're
on
scared.
the
Like, yeah,
edge of your seat, you are scared. And I want to talk about another character in House of the Dragon once we get to that. But
yeah,
they try and pull that off, but the boys did a really really good
yeah,
job
yeah,
creating that character, and he
yeah,
did a great job acting in it. So
yeah. And I will just end with, we're talking final seasons, rough end for Stranger Things, just really just below the line nominations, makeup,
yeah,
special effects, sound, nothing for the big one.
yeah. I wonder if the way they launched them affected how people viewed it
Yeah,
and also the love it got. I think also it's just too long. It's too far away.
yeah.
I haven't even watched Stranger Things because I just didn't want to go
Oh, you haven't even
back.
watched the final season yet?
No, I
No, I
haven't
have
either.
Oh,
not. I did not because I really have no desire to go back. It just
it's
feels like we're
fine.
going
Yeah,
back. And the way they structured the
yeah.
thing and like it's like three movies.
Yeah,
Getting through the
they're
Euphoria
all
finale
too
was hard enough.
long saying the same thing. Like, and we'll talk about that a little bit with Euphoria too. But it's one thing that's, well, before I throw to the category, any other final thoughts on drama series?
Um, hmm. I don't think
All
so.
right, well, I'll throw to it. We're talking about these long drawn out things. At least these are limited. They're short. They're anthology series. Those are our next category to talk through. Beef led with 16, followed by DTF St. Louis with 13. These two series are joined by All Her Fault, The Beast in Me, and Love Story John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette as the limited and anthology series nominees. I don't have too much to say here. We'll probably be quick, but like I've only seen actually like Love Story of this entire bunch. Um,
I
kind of
heard that was not. I heard it was just like, can we get this whole thing over with?
there were some things that was like interesting from like kind of like a history standpoint, like the production design.
Mhm.
Like there were some re cool like recreations of looks and costumes and stuff like that. I will say like I was surprised that like of the two um there was two nominees for acting. The actress who played Carolyn Bessette and then Her mom, Anne Marie, made the cut for acting. John F. Kennedy Jr. did not. And I think a real standout for me was Grace Gummer, who played John's sister, Carolyn. I thought she was actually really good. But yeah, I mean, again, we're just, like there's only so many spots and there's only so many things
Grace
here.
Gummer, is that
She was in Mr.
Mr.
Robot,
Robot? Okay,
and
yeah.
I
That's
bel
Meryl Streep's daughter, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
so it's in her genes, yeah. But
Mhm.
yeah, any thoughts on these nominees?
So I mentioned Beef in the beginning. I'm still working my way through. I was really excited about the prospect of what they were looking at doing. It's kind of taken a turn. I kind of hit a wall. I'm trying to work my way through it. But the first season of Beef, really, I couldn't stop. I binged it the
Yeah.
whole way. This I'm working my way through. The Beast in Me, I
I
did
heard
enjoy.
good things. Yeah, I heard
Yeah, I
good
did.
things.
I did enjoy. I don't think it's like the best show ever, but it was a good show and it has good performances, and it's entertaining nonetheless. And DTF St. Louis, I mentioned I tried it. I was not loving it. I had to back out. I mean, yeah, just recently there's two actors. I'm worried because I want to go see the Odyssey, but there's two actors recently that I just I just see them now and everything that they do. One of them is Jason Bateman, and it
Mm.
happened with the
Jason
rabbit.
Bateman's not in the Odyssey, right?
No, no, no,
Okay,
no.
good.
I'm gonna mention the other actor, but
Good.
Jason Bateman. Okay, it'd be crazy if Jason Bateman was.
Yeah.
So Jason Bateman, I just see him in everything, and I know. I used to think he was such a good actor, but now I don't know if he's lost his it factor or what it is for me. But the other actor I was thinking of was Matt Damon. Whenever
Mm.
I see Matt Damon, I think Matt Damon has lost his charisma or something because all I see is that guy. Even though I love Matt Damon, I
Yeah.
think he mentions great things about Hollywood and stuff like that, and talks about the business openly and plainly. But just his acting recently has not been there for me. So going back to DTF St. Louis, the performances weren't really hitting. I didn't love the storylines, so I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
So that's why I
Yeah.
was surprised. 12 nomination, 12, 13. You said?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think 13. Yeah. And yeah, it's just we see it, there obviously there's only five nominees here and there's seven or eight for drama and comedy series, and it's based on the number of submissions. If there was a lot more submissions, you get six
Mm.
nominees or seven nominees. But
Do you remember, like, I don't even know how many years now, but like 10 years ago, this category
it
was
was always the
stacked.
best one.
It was
It would
stacked.
You would have like it was I can't remember. I'm just making this up, but it would be like Fargo season two versus The People versus O.J. Simpson. Like
Yeah.
it would be like, everything was like, wow, that was a good one. That was a good one. Normal
Mm.
People. Like there was just so many good. I mean,
Yeah.
even um previous winner, we could talk about snubs here. So Richard Gadd, who dominated with Baby Reindeer a few years ago, had Half Man this year, his follow-up.
Hmm.
Just the one nom for him.
Hmm.
That's it. Nothing else. So it's just kind of like these shows that like, just dominated the Emmys, got so many things. It's like, all right, yeah,
I feel like when you thought of prestige TV, you thought of limited or anthology
yeah,
series because you would get these high level performers that were willing to come over and do this 6 episode, 8 episode thing and then be done with it, you know?
yeah. It might be one of those things where also it's like everything is like IP now and everything needs another season and everything and it's like all the shows that we did have as limited series like they used to circumvent the system here and be like, oh yeah, we're limited, and then like we get our awards
Yeah.
and then a month later it's like Big Little Lies season
Season
two.
2. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So maybe that's
Mayor
the
of Easttown.
yeah, that maybe that's a concern if you're like an actor and you just want to do an 8 episode thing and HBO is saying, "Wait, this is the next great
Yeah,
thing. You got to keep going." It's like, "Oh shit, I didn't want to do that." Oh
yeah,
shoot.
it's okay. Who
Ah,
cares at this point? We're
Sorry. 40 minutes in,
yeah.
35.
Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. All right. Let's jump to comedy, unless you have anything else to say here. Comedy series Hacks led with a record number for comedy series with 24, followed by Widow's Bay with 19. These two series are joined by Abbott Elementary, The Bear, Margot's Got Money Troubles, Nobody Wants This, Only Murders in the Building, and Shrinking in the comedy series category. All right.
So when I first started talking in the beginning, I was mentioning Nobody Wants This because I'm pretty sure like they got
Yeah.
no acting stuff and then they've got a series nomination. I
I,
just
I'll tell you what they got, Kyle, because I wrote it down here because let's see if I put it somewhere. Yep. So Nobody Wants This got two total. Comedy series, music supervision.
wow.
So that music must be great.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't understand. I mean, I haven't seen the show, so I don't want to
Yeah.
judge it too much, but I just like when I'm talking about that when I was mentioning it before, what criteria are we basing this off of? I just don't understand.
Yeah, because I mean, we can look at, like the Chair Company. It got a
Mm-hmm.
writing and a directing nomination, but not series.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, like, okay, we like the concept of the show as a whole, so we'll nominate it in this one thing as like the series, but none of the elements. And it's just like, well, yeah, it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, uh, looking at this list, actually, I'm actually surprised. I don't think I've seen. I think I've seen The Bear. Like I'm losing it. I'm just because it's some of these shows that as we said, Only Murders, Shrinking, Abbott Elementary. It's like they're gonna keep getting nominated, nominated, nominated. It's like I haven't seen. Yeah, I saw a season of Only Murders. I've seen episodes of Abbott. But it's like there's so much to get catch up on that it's just like,
Well, when we talk about shrinking, so I haven't seen this latest episode of Shrinking, just because I've got to renew my Apple TV
mm,
here. But the thing with shrinking and just, I'm kind of getting Bill Lawrence fatigue. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure he's the creator
yep.
because he now he's doing. I mean, he had Ted Lasso. We got
Rooster
Shrinking, and then Rooster, and I mean Scrubs,
is
as far as I
back.
know,
Yeah, I'm not
yeah,
sure.
is
Yeah,
bad. It's
yeah.
kind of so it's like the, his comedy was hitting during the pandemic when it was like I think needed during that time. Now we're in a different time, and at
Hollywood
least
is
for
slow
me,
and is like catching up on like, oh yeah, this is big, and they put them all into like development, and now we're seeing
yeah.
the outcome.
So yeah, and it's just like this is a little too saccharine sweet for me. Like there needs to be uh I don't know. It almost looks like soap opera
Yeah.
esque. It's very I don't know how to describe, but the type of comedy and the production design of it is very it's like the Marvel universe.
Mm.
I can tell when I'm looking at a Bill Lawrence show and it's not hitting the same way. The storyline's not hitting the same way, and I'm getting used to this production that I don't, and it's not hitting the same way it used
Yeah.
to. You know?
Yeah. No, I hear you for sure.
And can we talk about the bear? The like
Are we gonna do
we
the
the
classic?
comedy and
Yeah,
it shouldn't
yeah, yeah.
like we know that it should not be here. I don't think it'll win. I
No,
think
I think that industry is like
yeah,
turned on it
yeah. I
because of
think
that, yeah.
yeah. I mean, not even that. I just whether it's in drama or comedy, it's just not good enough to win here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, we're so delayed on everything. This is for season four.
Four,
Season
yeah, I know.
3 and 4, I think, were some of the worst of the Bear. I think I don't even remember. See, like they were like because I think season 3 and 4 were supposed to be one season, and then they like stretched it, and then like
Mhm.
there wasn't like any story to it.
Well, it was keeping the characters, and I mean, we're going to talk about this
Yeah.
when we talk about the bear later, but we're keeping the characters stuck
Yeah.
in this place, and they cannot grow at all because we're just.
And also because the season like takes place in like, it's a 12 episode or not even 12. It's an 8 episode season and it takes place over like 4 hours.
Yeah,
Or it's just like
yeah,
there's of course they're not gonna change. The
yeah,
whole series takes place in like 2 days or something.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, um, but yeah, Yeah, I don't even know. Like you mentioned Bill Lawrence, and I could talk about like with Rooster with Steve Carell. I think sometimes you get these like sole nominations just because like you just like X person.
Hmm.
Like, did anyone really like I heard really mixed things on Rooster, but it's like, but Steve Carell. And we
Hmm.
have a spot in comedy lead actor. Like, let's nominate Steve Carell. Same
Hmm.
with like I love Coleman Domingo, but it's like there was one nomination for the 4 seasons. And it was Coleman Domingo. Like, there was actually one nomination total for The Testaments. This is in drama series, but like, it's a spin-off, The Handmaid's Tale. It was the first streaming show to win a top prize, but like just one, Chase Infinity, because
Hmm.
yeah, she should have gotten an Oscar nomination for one battle
Yeah.
after
So
another.
let's
So it's
do
like
it.
it's
Let's do
just
it for the Emmys. Yeah.
it's like I guess, it's just so it's like that's where it gets like, okay. It would be nice to actually fill these slots with, I mean, again, no disrespect to them because I haven't seen their performances, but it's just like, let's give it to people who, were delivering comedy,
Yeah.
like let's
But
um
to
yeah.
be honest, in this category, I really don't see anybody beating Hacks. I mean,
Oh
I heard it
yeah.
was a strong season. People love it. I just don't think that
The
anybody beats it.
only thing that could sneak in there, I feel like Widow's Bay is really
Yeah.
gaining momentum at
Hmm.
the right moment. Like some of its season was actually like cut off with the Emmy submission deadline because I don't even know if they expected this kind of like wave. Like
Hmm.
I heard this series or the season finale is actually like really good, but that's actually after the cutoff. So it's not
Oh
even technically a part of the
man.
season. But like again, these tapes and these things don't matter. It's just like
Mm.
kind of the sentiment, like, oh yeah, that's really good. And if it can like build like who knows? People would be like, "Oh, we awarded Hacks," or is it one of those things where it's like, "Okay, what do we like about Hacks? Gene Smart. Let's give Gene Smart the actor award, and we'll give Widow's Bay the series or whatever." Like,
Mm.
but yeah, because yeah, Hacks got a lot. Just like the studio, another like industry show did last year. Um, One that I thought could have been at least one of these comedy series nominees was maybe The Comeback, the
Mm.
the
Mm.
final season, season three. It only got writing and actress, which I'm ultimately fine with. I'm a big fan of The Comeback, specifically seasons 1 and 2. Season 3 really did not work for me. I can do a whole 10 minutes on that at another time. But yeah, like Lisa Kudrow, definitely that makes sense. But it was really like a mess of a season. And I thought there could have been more hard-hitting satire. But for a show that was always like ahead of the curve, this season 3 about AI felt behind.
Mm.
But and yeah, I also put on here another HBO show, set in Los Angeles. No Love for I Love LA, maybe again too young of a show. But then
Yeah.
again, you back in the day we had Girls. Girls got so many
Yeah.
Emmy nominations. Um,
Yeah, this didn't feel like girls to me. This felt more like You're the Worst type of
mm,
like that
yeah,
type of thing. And I don't remember You're the Worst. I think it
I
did
don't
get
think.
some Emmy noms,
Yeah, I think.
but I feel like it's in that area. I don't know. I enjoyed I Love LA. I haven't seen all of it yet, but
But I was gonna say you
there's
could always
could have
see
been
the
something
one where
there.
it's like, like the Lena Dunham or the Donald Glover with Atlanta. It's like let's give Rachel Sennett lead
Yeah.
actress, or
Yeah.
something.
Hmm.
But um, only one nomination this time around for jury duty. It got one for writing, but that was one of the ones that actually made a comedy series. I think James Marsden got a nomination for season 1, but
Hmm.
just one for jury duty. And then yeah, we talk about The Bear. Only got 8 total nominations this year. Uh, Io was the only one that got one for acting. So Evan Moss Bacharach, Jeremy Allen White, uh, nothing, nothing.
Hmm.
But yeah. Um, Anything else with comedy?
No, I think we
Yeah.
mentioned the things that
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Yeah. I'm just gonna quickly go through just like a miscellaneous thing, and then we'll get to our quick checks. I'll mention that Connor Story. I'm not sure if I'm actually saying his name correctly there, but the guy from Heated Rivalry was not eligible, but he got a nomination for for SNL for hosting SNL, and I wonder if it's like partly like, oh, Heated Rivalry's not eligible. Let's nominate him for SNL because I don't remember his SNL being that memorable, and he's the only SNL performer or host to get a nomination this year, and that includes nothing for Bowen for his final season. He got 4 nominations in the past, nothing this year. Ashley Padilla, who is like the MVP
Mm.
of the show now, nothing for her. But yeah, this is actually interesting. This will be, the Emmy voters heard my rant last year about how the scripted variety and the talk series categories, it's like, what are we doing when you only have 3 and 1 and 2 and another? Just combine them, put them together. Well, for the first time since 2014, they are combined
They've done
again.
it. Yep.
So SNL will go against Last Week Tonight and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. So it's going to be more of like a actual maybe competition
Yeah, I think it will.
versus like, okay, SNL's up against one other show. It's SNL. Like it's like okay.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
What that was SNL's 51st season, right?
this is 50. Yes, 51st is this year.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Um, all right. That's all I got for Emmys. Anything else? We all set?
I think we're good.
We're good. All right. We're going over. Let's talk about some quick checks. So really quick, John, let's play it. Too long. We got to make it shorter. All right, we're gonna start off with Euphoria, the final season. What a mess. Mess of a season. Um, I mean, sure, it looked nice, some performances, but man, what the hell? It really felt like to me, we had a lot of kids just like cosplaying as adults in like situations. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
none of these people would have put up with any of these kids for a second if this is like the real world. Like, but oh man, I have a
Yeah.
lot to say, but John, your thoughts?
I I I'm trying to even think of how you trace a path from like the original season to this, and
Hmm.
it's the same show. Like
Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
how like I don't know. I get that they wanted to swing big or whatever, and like that everyone is a star in this now, and they're all coming back for like a final season. I guess I don't know if it's just because of the contracts or what, but like
I think a lot of them want to get out of it. All the
Hmm.
oh, I'm
press I
sure.
saw of like Jacob Elordi, I'm definitely Zendaya wants out, but it's
Hmm.
just like I don't even know what like they were like I feel like there was a gun to their heads during this press of like, oh, I got to
Yeah,
do this. Like, yeah.
yeah, and it's just weird that like it's the same show. Like I don't know. All that
Yeah.
aside, there was some weird choices in some of the cold opens they had, maybe. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I don't know. It felt like it was all like it went in a weird path, and at the last second they were like, "Oh wait, we got to tie this up," and
Mm.
like they kind of jammed an ending in that related back to the first season. And they brought back that music from the first season to be like, "Hey, look, guys, we're back!" Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. Like it was interesting to kind of see like almost in the same way like a train crash is, like. But I don't know. I don't know if I would watch more if there was really
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. I think with like like they try to like almost reboot this like show. Like, yeah, we're gonna do this whole new thing after high school kind of thing, but they don't have enough runway to do it. So yeah, like yeah, they're like, oh, we're setting all this up, all these new people, all this, all this, all this, and it's like, oh wait, we gotta end this thing in 2 episodes. Like
Mhm.
now we gotta shorten everything because like there was so much like I feel like so many characters had so little to do, and then I've heard so much stuff after the fact that so much was like cut out because like yeah, it's like, Nate had nothing other than just like being tortured, having his like fingers cut off every other episode. Sydney Sweeney was switching her career every other week. Oh, she's an actress. Nope, I'm on OnlyFans. I'm an actress. No, I'm on OnlyFans. And then those OnlyFans things, just way too much. It's not even close to being subtle or a commentary on anything. It's just like this is just gross. Like, what are we doing? Like, like Sydney, like are you in on this joke? Like, because I can't tell of like, because it's just it's rough. It's just and I don't know. I mean, sure, Zendaya feel like had a storyline. She probably was one of the best performers of the bunch of the kids. And Coleman Domingo's great. Rue's boss, Alamo was good. So I liked
Mhm.
that kind of storyline and situation. But man, all the side characters, as I mentioned, plus like Ahmad Apatow, like I guess she was there. Like, oh yeah, she's on the show. Like,
Mhm.
and for like Jules, it's like, oh yeah, she paints.
Yeah.
Like
How
you have great actors. Like the Jules' like solo special they did during COVID was a good episode. Great actress. What are we doing? Like, I don't know. But yeah, sorry, Kyle.
no,
I've
it's all
been
good.
going I've been going off here. What are your thoughts on the this?
How long has it been since
No,
the last season? Sorry,
no, it's at least 2 to 3 years. I'll have to look that
is it
up, but
that little?
Yeah. Oh,
I thought it was
yeah.
more than that.
Might be. I don't know.
I don't know. I'll have to check it out. I mean, time's a flat circle after the pandemic. I mean, so
Yeah.
at
Sorry,
least,
Kyle. I don't want to put
No,
you
you're
on
good.
you.
yeah. Um, let's see. Season one was 2019. Season 20. Oh, you were, yeah, you're right, John. Season two was 2022, and then season three was 2026. So it was
Yeah,
four,
4
4 years.
years?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, that right there, the season was disjointed. It was clearly Sam Levinson wanting to show us something, tell us something, and I think he had too many thoughts of what he wanted to talk about. Are we talking about the loss of innocence? Are we talking about the loss of the American dream? Are we talking about
religion,
God and
race.
religion? It's
Like
like
it's just,
two, which and the whole season felt like that. It just felt like loose ends not tied up, or characters acting weirdly out of character, naive at times, and then way above their years at other times. Um, I think he's just got to be happy. Sam Levinson has got to be happy that he had Zendaya,
yeah.
Coleman Domingo, and the dude that plays Alamo, and that he did a decent job with that storyline. But it's like, dude, you're all over the place here. I know you want to fit as many like Hollywood things that you can into the show, and it's entertaining, but I wouldn't say the story was good.
No.
And it's just like parts storylines that I want to stick with where we're dealing with this, and then you don't give Jules anything to do, and Jules
Yeah.
was like a big part of Zendaya and that storyline, and then that amounts to nothing. And
It was just too big. It's the canvas was too big and like he should I mean obviously as you guys we mentioned like there's too much time has passed but they should have stayed in high school. And it's
Mhm.
like okay if they're too old for high school then
yeah.
it's too
Or
much.
or the transition out of high school, not like,
Hmm.
when they're established how many years later, like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. So, um, it, uh, also the length of the last couple episodes. I mean, if you wanted, it seems like he wanted to make Euphoria the movie or some variation of that. It's
Yeah.
like this probably would have been a better thing on its own as a separate entity, and then he can kind of whittle down what he is trying to say, and then left Euphoria
Yeah.
to do its own, like
Yeah.
the first two seasons to its own.
I,
It
w-
was just it
I
was
just
just
I
not.
worry he's not going to get a blank check anymore after The Idol and after this. It's like I got to put all my ideas into this because this might be it for me. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
but all right. We could go on and on, I'm sure,
yeah,
but we should
yeah.
jump to The Bear and that's final season. Um, you know, Kyle's seen half of the final season. I finished it, so we'll keep it sort of spoiler light here. But I think just I will say I like this season better than the last two, but not as much as the first two. I felt like it's building to something, but man, it's this all in one day thing that like it just feels rushed. So like you get these 20-minute episodes and it's almost like you wait a year for this thing and then it's like, all right, 20 minutes. It's like, okay, I'll watch another one because it just like ends abruptly. There's like no real like story, like A, B storyline to something. It's like just a continuous thing that they just chopped up this movie. And then you get to this dinner service, which is probably the standout episode of the season, and then it's over. Like, there's like one episode after that, and it's just like, oh, that's it. That's the finale. And again, I won't dive too much into the finale, just keep it spoiler free here, but there's like a couple moments that I almost kind of was like, I joked to my wife who I was watching it with about what was about to happen, and then it happened. Like, it was like the exact line of dialogue. And there's a monologue that Carmi gives that's very long and kind of leads to what I think it should be interpreted as. And Kyle, you could take out your earplugs if you don't want to hear this part here.
I don't care.
But is Carmi gonna leave the restaurant industry? And he has this interview at the end with I get for some reason it's an internship at an architecture firm, which he doesn't have any experience in. But he's talking about how much he like loves the family at the restaurant and everything about that. And then there's a shot of him after wearing the chef's apron, and I saw all this stuff like online of people like, oh, he gave it up and he's moving on with his life. I'm like, maybe how I saw it is like, well, why would he be back at the restaurant wearing a chef's apron if he's not a chef? But like, even if he's like second to Sydney, I think he's still going to be there because I think he realized how much he still loves this and he loves the family of the bear. And I don't know,
Mhm.
we can get into that once you've seen it, Kyle, and what you think about that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I just wanted to mention with the show, I feel like it's been trying to catch the magic that it had in the
yeah,
first season, and it just hasn't lived up to it. And I thought the 20-minute episodes were better because it kind of quickened the pace
yeah,
of it a little bit better. But yeah, it just this and 3 and 4 were not great.
no,
So I just think that left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, and I wasn't really too excited to, fire up the bear. And the fact that the characters just seem so stagnant and cannot grow. We have 3 episodes of, you know,
they're
um,
literally like sometimes stuck
Ao,
in a freezer, like
yeah,
yeah,
Ao's character and Jeremy Allen White's character, and it's just like, dude, you guys are saying the same thing. 3 episodes have gone by. Can we move on with it? We've trapped Jeremy Allen White. He has not grown in three
yeah.
seasons. What is happening here? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And then
It's
the-
just
and
so
and there's
frustrating.
moments in the final season, the finale, that they try to make it seem like maybe there was a change and like this growth and they become this other person, and it's like, did they? Like,
Yeah.
is Io that good of running a restaurant? I don't think she is. Like, what do we see that you guys are all seeing? Like, I don't, yeah,
And I really feel like a lot of times with the show, it's like they do an episode of something and then like uh in the case of Evan Boss Bacharach, when he goes and does like the spoons episode and he comes back and he's like the king and he knows everything. And it's just like I can't match up this show. It's either like nothing, the characters don't move, but then they know something
yeah,
immediately after they've done it once. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
yeah, back and forth, back and forth. But yeah. Oh, but that's the bear. I mean, it's sad because I feel like if this show was like, I think the initial plan was 4 seasons. I would have loved to have seen a 4 season bear. Maybe it condensed 3 and 4. 5 could have been its thing, and I think it would have played better.
Mm,
I like.
probably.
I think it being so drawn out, I think the whole thing with the Emmy controversy with the comedy drama, which again, it's no fault of the actors. They're not choosing what the show is being submitted as and all that stuff. But like it kind of has left a bad taste in people's mouths
Hmm.
after the service here. But
Yeah.
all right. Let's just finish up here with House of the Dragon.
Mhm.
quick checks at least. And then
Mhm.
there's been 4 episodes of season 3 so far. Again, we'll keep it vague, not everyone's, seen everything, but I think for me, the premiere of this season should have been the season 2 finale. I think we talked
Mm.
about it when we watched season 2 that season 2 was building to this battle, building to this moment, building to this, and then it was like, just kidding, see you in 2 years. And things have been a lot more action-packed. Things are finally moving. I think one of the better episodes of the season was, I think, last week's episode 3. Just like with Rhaenyra's finally having to, do some ruling, she's on the throne, but it's like there's this, there was like this ticking noise and all the rats starting to build and all these problems she has to deal with, and it's not so easy, and there's so many complications to it. I thought that was
Mm.
a nice episode, and things are finally moving. There is now a new character that I believe is completely new. Like Ormond, I think he just kind of
Mhm.
came out of literally nowhere, and now he's our big bad. But like, Kyle, what do you think so far?
I was gonna tell John. I know he hadn't seen
Yeah,
any of this season yet, but this season would be the one to get back in. I think they've
Hmm.
done a much better job of this
yeah,
season. First episode, we get this, the massive thing, and then the ramifications, the fallout from that. And I think they've done a really good job. I think this Ormond character. I mean, I think they've done a good job with this
yeah.
Ormond
I like
character,
the character, but I
and
feel like it just like came out of nowhere,
yeah.
right?
I think he was in an episode in the past. I think he's been lingering, but in the background. So, like, I
Yeah,
think so. Then, uh, Ormond and this Darren character, I really enjoy. I'm looking forward to see what they're gonna do with it. And I was listening to a pod recently, and I was thinking about this. I think I like this show when Eamon is kind of in the background.
mm,
He's the eye patch dude.
yeah,
Like when he's like lingering in the background. He's not the four, and everyone has to worry about him, but he's not the
mm,
main dude. So I like when everyone has to work around, and we're seeing the other aspects of it. Um, but I think this season is much better. I'm excited about the rest of the season.
yeah. I think we probably at least may have another half to see, but yeah, like, and it sounds like I think season 4 is it. So like, I think it's like again we're building to something here because I feel like season 2 is this elongated thing. It's like, oh, it's season 1 was good. Let's stretch this thing out. We only have a certain amount of time because it's a prequel before we have to wrap things up, and it's like just tell the story you want us to hear because yeah, like season 2 was building to something and it was such a letdown, but now we're finally getting what it was building to. And I think if this was, yeah, like a little bit, like again, it would have just cleaned up those seasons and made it just a tighter, better story, just like how we were talking about with the bear. So when
Mhm.
you stretch it out, it just is,
Yeah,
it
season
ruins it.
two. Yeah, season two. The pacing was way off. I think I agree with you because if the finale was the first
Yeah,
episode, I think it would have been a culminating moment to kind of save the season a little bit.
yeah,
But I do like the fact that we're starting big,
yeah.
and now we're dealing with and
And
I feel
and
like it
maybe it'll be
leads.
better now on a binge for like somebody like John
Yeah.
who like, you know, is catching up or something like that.
Mm.
It'll work better than having to wait 2 years, for the payoff of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Enough quick checks, but we have this special segment. We haven't done this one in a while. Let's go to Kyle's corner. Kyle, what do you want to talk about?
So I look at all those old photos of me with hair. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
We gotta update
Uh,
this.
I wanted to talk about the World Cup because I feel like there's been a lot happening, not only in the games, but then like TV and pop culture surrounding the event. It's being hosted by the US, Mexico, and Canada, with most of the games in the US. The semifinals and finals are this week, so it's very exciting. I pretty much watched every game. But the first thing I want to mention is that we're going to be talking about the box office later this summer, but the box office has been horrible the last
Okay, just rub it in, why don't you?
two
Okay.
2 to 3 weeks. And I think there's something to be said about, we're hosting this. There's a lot of people coming over. It's expensive to go to the movies. Let's just watch the World Cup at home or go to these fan experiences where we can be out, we're amongst other people, and we don't have to spend a lot of money, and we're enjoying, this massive, massive thing that's happening. Um, and it's all over Instagram and all these things. So I think that has really caught the attention, and I think that is my theory of why the box office has been pretty bad the last couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
I'll add to that because like for the 4th of July, I went to a place along the water. They have a nice little deck. We were sitting out there. That's what we always do every 4th. And this year, my brother-in-law brought a television, hooked it up to the porch so we could have the World Cup playing.
Mm-hmm.
While we're just sitting there. And it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, like people don't want to miss it, miss
Yeah.
these moments. It's a worldwide event.
Yeah. So something else I want to mention, and I think EDM kind of mentioned it in the chat, but FIFA, who's the governing body of world soccer, right? At this World Cup, has decided that they are going to do a mandatory hydration break at halfway through the half. So or football soccer is normally done in two halves, for two 45-minute halves. Well, FIFA goes, you're going to have a mandatory break halfway between the halves. So you essentially turn the game that used to be two halves of 45 minutes into four quarters because you have a little hydration break. Well, this is changing the way teams are
Mhm.
operating because we used to have to do 45 minutes straight. Now I can call over my team, I can strategize with them, so it really changes the game. But why it's pissing off the world, because you have to remember, they look at America like commercialized, everything's consumerist, all that stuff. And now FIFA's like, oh, we're going to have hydration breaks and we're going to show ads. So now we're going to cut to an ad. And they said they weren't going to do that. So FIFA's working with Fox to show ads during hydration breaks. Sometimes when it's really hot, they're called hydration breaks. And when it's just a break, they termed it a match break.
Mm.
So they're trying to sell it in this way. But in reality, it is FIFA just trying to maximize the profits off of the TV. And what's interesting is that Telemundo, who I think is owned by Universal or whatever subsidiary of Universal there is, was like, no, we're not going to commercials. Like, we don't think this is how soccer and football should be shown. We are just going to show the players on the pitch. So, some Fox telecasts, they'll show full screen ads during the hydration break. And then other times they'll do a side by side. But it's like, dude, FIFA, you're just trying to maximize the profits. This looks disgusting. Everybody in the
Yeah.
world hates it. And they're looking at us like the Americans are doing it because it's at America and they boosted the ticket prices and all this stuff because
It's
it's in
not us. It's
America.
not us. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny too. It's like how much money do they need? Because I saw the whole thing. Like I'm so out of this, but like that, like all the stadiums have to cover their corporate
Yeah.
logos because they're not paying FIFA, and it's just like, oh my
Mhm.
God,
I
like
know. So I just want to go say a couple of things,
okay.
just a couple of last things, and I'll be done. So some of the controversies, there's been quite a few. You might have heard Trump called the
Who?
FIFA
No, just kidding.
called the FIFA president because apparently they are good buddies, and FIFA's known to be corrupt. And they overturn a red card that impacted the USA for their next match. And everyone's like, what the hell is going on here? This is insane. This is so corrupt. And other controversies. There's Messi is like this big one, probably the best player of all time, arguably. And Argentina is getting very favorable calls. They've had very favorable things happen with replay. And so It's really, really shady. Last TV thing I'll mention, England recently won a match and they kicked a ball, um, and or excuse me, Norway, who they were competing with, kicked a ball and it hit a TV wire up above, but it wasn't caught. So then England got the ball, brought it down, and scored off of the possession that the ball hit the wire. But in reality, it's supposed to be a dead ball, and the team gets to like just drop it from there. So all the players are like, "Yo, it hit the wire." So then FIFA has this chip that's in the ball, and they said, "Well, on this graph, we see no hitting of the ball on the wire, so it doesn't count." Meanwhile, in a match 2 weeks ago with Croatia, they had it hit graze somebody's hair, and they're like, look, you can see on this that it was touched, so we can't change that. And so everyone's like, this is, you're just creating these little lines wherever you want. It's just so, it just feels so corrupt. But I will say the great games have been great. They've been awesome. It's been fun to watch, I will say.
Yeah. Yeah, it may be corrupt. It may not be
I know, but
any
it's
truth to it, but boy, is it fun.
it is fun. It's fun to watch. It is very, very fun to watch.
Well, no, I'm glad it's going well. And then yeah, so right now it's Monday, what I don't even know what today is, July 13th here. How many more games do we have?
So they're in the semifinals. So they have two semifinals games that decides who goes to the finals. And then there's a third place match, but
Hmm,
nah.
Yeah.
And then there's the final match. So really they have three
three more.
majorly competitive games left.
Who's
And
who's gonna win?
ooh, it's tough to say. I think probably France, because
Okay.
France has a really good team. But it's down to France, Spain. Spain's very good as well. And England and Argentina.
Mm,
So France and Spain play tomorrow, the 14th,
mm,
and England and Argentina play Wednesday, the 15th, and then
mm.
the final is on Sunday.
All right. EDM in the chat's rooting for England.
Yeah,
So, all right.
I'm rooting for England as well. Uh,
Mm.
but I think France is going to win.
EDM also said, and we'll see if Kyle's is true, hair follicles are harder than TV
Yeah,
cables.
clearly,
So,
clearly.
yeah, we're definitely experts on that. All right.
Yeah.
One last thing. I know we ran long, but hey, we do these like every quarter at this point, we take a very long hydration break in between our episodes. We're gonna just talk real quick about our box office draft. That was our last episode. That'll be our next episode where we're tallying all the numbers up here. But I wanted to talk about the poll and to give you a refresh real quick of what the teams were. Let's go through the teams. I think John had the first pick. He had Toy Story 5, then The Mandalorian and Grogu, and Moana, which just dropped this past weekend. Kyle had The Odyssey, The Devil Wears Prada 2, and Disclosure Day. Meanwhile, I had the third pick. I went with Spider-Man, Brand New Day, Minions and Monsters, and Supergirl. And then just for the hell of it, Gemini, the AI uh, chatbot from Google, Toy Story 5, Supergirl, and Minions and Monster was their picks. We asked Instagram what team is going to win here. Which drafter picked the best set of movies? Here are the results. Boom. Kyle, 60% of
Wow.
the vote. John, 40% of the vote.
Wow.
That means nothing for me and Gemini. As we always say,
Wow.
though,
It's a curse.
it's a curse. The last two, three of these, whoever wins, loses, and usually whoever is like in last place is the winner. That's what happened, I think, last year when I won. Nobody believed in my team. I will say, again, this poll was before the summer started. I'm leaning towards John or Kyle here. I don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna have. I got a lot riding on Spider-Man right now, but Toy Story is gonna be hard to beat. Obviously, Odyssey. We knew those were gonna be the top three.
hmm
Um, but
Could be the only three at the end of
yeah,
the day.
it could be, could be. But yeah, that's our poll. That's our draft. That'll probably be our next episode. Like I said, we're most likely looking at like a September recording of that. not only will we tally up our box office draft picks, but we'll also, review some of these films that came out over the summer. I'm sure at that time we'll have time to have seen The Odyssey, Obsession, which everyone's been talking about. So many of the films, we'll run them down as we go through the results of that. I want to thank both of you guys tonight, for doing this extended episode. I couldn't do it without both of you guys. And make sure you're following us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the blog, doredundancy.com. We are live. Here we are on Twitch and on YouTube simultaneously, twitch.tv/doredundancy. And you can follow us on Instagram at Dual Redundancy. All right, that is all we got. A jam-packed show. I got hydration break. Hydration break. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, well, until next time, I'm David Allen.
I'm Jeff Berwick.
And I'm Kyle Bridger.
And that's all we got for Dual Redundancy. Goodbye, everybody.